A moment now for some news about the co-anchor of this program, Ed Henry. After a recent claim and investigation involving sexual misconduct in the workplace, Ed has been terminated from Fox News.
Ed Henry's departure from Fox News was unexpected, leaving audiences curious about his next step and the factors behind his exit. His departure is just one of many high-profile exits from the network, with former Fox personalities like Bill O'Reilly, Megyn Kelly, Beck, and more all making significant shifts in their careers after leaving. Let's take a closer look at Ed's post-Fox journey and the paths these former anchors and hosts have pursued since. Ed Henry. Ed joined Fox News in 2011, quickly establishing himself as a familiar face in political journalism, covering significant events and providing in-depth reporting. His career seemed secure until 2020, when allegations of misconduct surfaced, leading to an internal investigation by the network. These allegations ultimately prompted his exit. Reflecting on the experience, Henry shared in an interview, "The suddenness of it was shocking, but in moments like that, you figure out what really matters." He acknowledged the impact on his life and career, but expressed a commitment to moving forward, remarking, "I'm not defined by one chapter. I'm ready to keep telling stories." Since his departure, Henry has taken steps to reshape his public image and reclaim his platform. He's ventured into independent media, launching a podcast to engage with his audience directly. In his podcast episodes, Henry aims to address current events and news in a style that reflects the freedom he's gained outside mainstream broadcasting. His new path allows him to discuss issues he's passionate about without the restrictions of a major network, positioning himself as an independent voice in political commentary. His story continues to resonate with audiences who followed his work at Fox News, and he remains focused on making his mark beyond the network that once defined his career. Bill O'Reilly.
I am sad that I'm not on television anymore. I was very surprised how it all turned out. I can't say a lot because there's much stuff going on right now.
Bill O'Reilly was one of Fox News' most influential and recognizable faces, known for his commanding presence on The O'Reilly Factor. His sharp commentary and confrontational interview style propelled the show to become one of the highest-rated cable news programs, solidifying his place as a staple of conservative media. However, his career at Fox News came to a sudden halt in 2017 after multiple allegations of sexual harassment surfaced. As public scrutiny intensified, Fox chose to sever ties with its leading host, a decision that marked a major shift for the network. Reflecting on his exit, O'Reilly remarked, "It's tremendously disheartening when you're a target, but I have never been someone to retreat in the face of adversity." Since leaving Fox, O'Reilly has taken his platform into his own hands, launching No Spin News, an online news show where he continues his signature direct approach to politics and current events. Through his website, he connects with his loyal audience, releasing content that includes podcast episodes, articles, and regular appearances on conservative media outlets. Megyn Kelly.
That's why I went to NBC, because they offered me a show at 9 in the morning where I thought, okay, I'll be able to be at home for the rest of the day. And that is the one upside of that position that I took.
Megyn Kelly rose to prominence at Fox News with The Kelly File, a primetime show that became known for her hard-hitting interviews and fearless style. Her sharp questioning during the 2016 Republican primary debate, especially with Donald Trump, solidified her reputation as a serious journalist unafraid to challenge anyone, regardless of political stance. In 2017, Kelly made a bold career move, signing a high-profile contract with NBC News. Reflecting on her shift from Fox, she once said, "It's important to evolve and challenge yourself. This new opportunity is one where I could expand my skills in different ways." However, her transition to NBC was fraught with difficulties. Her morning show, Megyn Kelly Today, faced mixed reviews and was ultimately canceled following a controversial segment about blackface in Halloween costumes. Kelly's departure from NBC was swift, marking a turbulent period in her career. She took time away from the mainstream networks, but re-emerged with The Megyn Kelly Show, a podcast where she speaks freely on cultural and political issues, often addressing topics that other networks avoid. Kelly describes her current work as a space for open dialogue, stating, quote, "I'm freer now to say what I really think. There's a power in being able to run your own show without restrictions." Beck. Glenn Beck's tenure at Fox News was marked by a distinct theatrical style that appealed strongly to conservative viewers. Known for his emotional delivery and chalkboard analysis, Beck's show on Fox became a platform for promoting his views on politics and culture, making him one of the network's most talked about personalities. But his time at Fox came to an end in 2011, amid disagreements with network executives over the show's direction and Beck's increasingly provocative commentary. Quote, "I was saying things people didn't want to hear, but it was what I believed," he later said. After leaving Fox, he didn't retreat. He took a bold step, founding The Blaze, an independent conservative media network. He described his vision for The Blaze as, quote, "a place where people could go for honest, unfiltered information," and the network quickly grew to become a significant player in conservative media. Today, Beck continues to reach his audience through The Blaze, as well as through books, radio, and online shows, often speaking out on issues he feels are overlooked by mainstream media. Gretchen Carlson.
Well, there's a lot of shakeup at Fox News today. First, the network announced it reached a settlement with former anchor Gretchen Carlson in her sexual harassment suit against former Fox News head Roger Ailes.
Gretchen Carlson made her mark at Fox News as a co-host on Fox and Friends and later as the anchor of The Real Story with Gretchen Carlson. Known for her approachable yet insightful style, Carlson became a familiar face on the network, but her career took a sudden turn in 2016 when she filed a landmark sexual harassment lawsuit against then Fox News CEO Roger Ailes. This legal action sparked a massive public response and was instrumental in exposing a culture of harassment within the network. Quote, "For years I felt silenced," Carlson said in an interview, "but there comes a point when you have to stand up for yourself no matter the consequences." Her courage inspired others to speak out, ultimately leading to Ailes' resignation. Since her departure, Carlson has dedicated herself to advocacy, focusing on workplace harassment and gender equality. She has championed legislation to end forced arbitration clauses in employment contracts, a practice that can prevent employees from suing their employers for misconduct. Her commitment to these issues has positioned her as a prominent voice in the Me Too movement. Carlson continues to raise awareness through public speaking, writing, and media appearances. Chris Wallace. Chris Wallace built a reputation at Fox News as a fair and balanced journalist, known for his rigorous interview style and commitment to journalistic integrity. His work on Fox News Sunday earned him respect across the political spectrum, particularly his moderation of presidential debates, where he emphasized asking tough questions and seeking truth. Wallace's departure from Fox in 2021 marked the end of an 18-year tenure, surprising many viewers. Wallace said, quote, "I wanted to go in a different direction. I'm excited to try something new, to go beyond politics, and dig deeper into stories that matter." After leaving Fox, he joined CNN, where he took on a new role with Who's Talking to Chris Wallace, an interview-based show. Eric Bolling. Eric Bolling became a familiar face on Fox News as a co-host of The Five and later on Fox News Specialists. Known for his assertive style and staunchly conservative views, Bolling developed a loyal following, but his tenure at Fox ended in 2017 following allegations of inappropriate behavior, which he's denied. In response to his exit, Bolling stated, "I made my mark at Fox News, and while it ended in a way I never expected, I chose to move forward with my head held high." Bolling faced personal tragedy with the unexpected passing of his son, Eric Chase Bolling, due to an opioid overdose. This heartbreaking event led Bolling to refocus his career in life, dedicating himself to advocacy around the opioid crisis. He found a new home at Newsmax, where he hosts Eric Bolling The Balance, a show that balances political commentary with discussions on issues close to his heart. Now it's time to hear from you. Which of these departures was the most surprising? Let us know in the comment section below.